to night school where shadows creep. Grab your popcorn, don't fall asleep. The doors are open, let the nightmares play. You won't make it out today. Welcome to night school. The doors have reopened.
All right, welcome to Night School Horror. Oh, indeed, here we are. My name is Tommy James, a.k.a. the movie guy, baby. Your favorite movie therapist, indeed. And fuck it, Mista Malave, I know what you did last summer.
Do you? Oh my God, I don't even know what I did last summer.
I know
what you did last summer.
You know what I did last summer? I know what you did last summer. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than the music man himself is here, Mista Malave.
What's up? What's up, world? How you doing? And you know what? I don't know what it is about this year, man. It just keeps ins and outs. I'm just like, I'm here, then I think I'm here, then I'm not here, but I'm here now, and I still don't know what I did last summer, but I know what you did last summer.
Well,
I'm hyped to be here.
Yeah, I'm hyped to be here too, and I appreciate that you know what I did last summer. Like, same as you, I don't know what I did last summer. I may next year still know what you did last summer. But I will.
Well, you know what? I will always know what you did last
I hope you don't always know what I did last summer.
You know what? I kind of don't.
Well, honestly, Mista Malave, let's look at it this way. So, me and you are the only two of Night School Horror that has seen the brand new I Know What You Did Last Summer. So we're here now for a little extra credit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I always loved extra credit because I never got the regular credit in school. You know what I mean?
Sure. I understand that. It's usually like you have to do this extra work just to get that credit to push it.
Summer school. That's what I was doing last summer.
Oof. That's not good.
No,
that's definitely not good. But
I love extra credit. Love it.
Yeah, no, I love extra credit too. And before Mista Malave, before we get into the nitty of the gritty and discuss this this fucking movie, I just want to let all the listeners know out there something really special that we found out today. Night School Horror is now a part of the Pop Culture Pros. That's right. You can actually go to Pop Culture Pros.
Oh, yeah.
And you will be able to get some bios on us. You can listen to our episodes. There's going to be videos coming out. You know, this has just been announced. Literally today it has been announced. So we're in that process of moving a lot of things on over. But Night School Horror is expanding up. We're partnering with these guys. Shout out to Steve. We're going to have so much fun. We think this is going to be fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, there's a lot of excitement and a lot of great things that are coming with Night School Horror and Pop Culture Pros. So as we always do.
I'm excited to be a Pop Culture Pro.
We are.
I'm excited for this partnership. I cannot wait to dabble in all of that, what they're doing and what we're doing, and just kind of have that like cross blend of everything, you know, because I know they're fellow Brooklynites too. So I'm definitely hyped to meet them and to work with them and work alongside them. They're doing some really cool stuff over there, and I'm just happy that that we get to partner up with them too. So Mista Malave is definitely excited to be with Pop Culture Pro.
And as you said, Mista Malave, we are indeed Pop Culture Pros. And when it comes to Pop Culture Pros themselves, we're their horror pros. So I'd like to throw a nice cheers out to Pop Culture Pros. Cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
And again, thank you guys so much for allowing us to join the team. Again, we are very excited to do this. In sad news real quick. Ozzy Osbourne fucking died.
Yeah, the Prince of Darkness. May he would say, may he rot in peace.
May he rot in peace. May he rot. Yeah. Right now, Ozzy is down there with the devil, and in a good way. In a good way, he's putting on a concert.
Oh man, this is probably the best concert ever. You know,
probably. He got the demons with him. He's biting some bats, and just insane. Ozzy Osbourne passed away. today, and which I even mentioned on our Night School Horror TikTok. Like Ozzy Osbourne is representation to the horror community when it comes to music.
Absolutely.
You know, him, Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, like those guys are true with
Slipknot crew.
Slipknot, right?
You know,
like, but
Yeah,
Ozzy,
man, it's
Ozzy, that's horror.
oh yeah, that's goth in all its glory. That's all the eeriness. They even had back in the day when the white bread families didn't want them to listen to Black Sabbath. They think that they were hiding devil messages in his music. So
that's right.
I don't know what's more horror than that. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's crazy too, because in the long run, we really listen. He's made great songs as Sabbath and as himself. So like he's done a phenomenal job in the world of music. It's sad to see him go. He was only 76 years old, but hey, that man is a legend and will live on forever.
Absolutely. And I'm just happy that he got to perform one last time.
Yes.
Literally days before he passed away.
How insane is that?
As any artist, like, and as an artist as I am, that there's just one thing that you would love to do, and that's the most infectious, and it's more addicted than any other drug, is being on stage, right? You know what I mean? So throughout his whole life, with all of his crazy stuff, and of course being addicted to drugs and everything else, I'm pretty sure that the biggest drug he ever had was that electricity that he feeds off the fans when he's performing. So I was just so happy. And then any other artist can attest to this, that like, if you're going to go out, just make sure you got that one last concert to actually give you that last big fix. And I'm pretty sure that was it. And he was like, I can die happy now. And that saying gets used a lot, but I'm pretty sure he was like, I can die happy now.
Yeah, I agree too, because my parents are huge Sabbath fans. They've recently seen him on tour, and as we've watched videos of Ozzy, we've watched the show and shit. He can barely get words out. He's just, but when he sings, it's clear, it's perfect, and it sounds like he still was in his 20s, and he died at 76. So, rest in peace, rot in peace. Fucking Ozzy Osbourne. We'll miss hearing that voice, but we can always still turn on some Sabbath. We can always turn on some Crazy Train and Ozzy Osbourne himself, and just keep rocking.
Keep rocking. Cheers to you, my man.
Cheers to Ozzy Osbourne. Thank you for all the great songs and the memories.
Yep.
Great memories that he's brought to the world, and especially the horror community.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mr. Malave.
Yeah.
You done seen the movie.
Yes.
You done seen the damn movie. Now, here's the thing. Let's make it very clear. Spoilers territory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right off the jump, guys, we are diving all the way in with no letting loose, with no covering up shit. All right? I just got to be honest with you.
We're going to make it. We are throwing it out there. If you haven't seen the movie and you do not want to be spoiled, you are listening to the wrong episode. Go see the movie and come back here. And shit, let us know what you thought. So before we begin, Mr. Malave, I know I was about to. I know what you did last summer.
I know.
You obviously have seen the original and the sequel.
Yes.
Okay, now what did you think of those?
They were good. I mean, it came out back in '97. I was a younger lad, and just barely experiencing all these horror stuff. But it was good for its time. It was a nice '90s slasher movie. I mean, it was never be as good as Scream. It's better than Urban Legend.
It is,
but just by a little, I enjoyed them. I watched them numerous amount of times. They're kind of like iconic in a way. So yeah, I've enjoyed the first one the most. The second one, not so much. I didn't really have a lot of replays on the second one. I know Jack Black was in there, and it was weird that he had dreads. And it was all like a butt of a joke with I Still Know, with the Bahamas and everything else like that. I feel like they reached in that sequel. They could have just made a college sequel and then do that, but they didn't want to copy off of Scream 2. So I it wasn't as great, and the twist of it kind of sucked. I saw it coming a mile away. So the second one, not so much. I didn't like as much, but it was okay for the time. Again, it was just okay. I got another I Know What You Did Last Summer, and that was fine by me. And then we don't talk about the one that everyone seems to have never seen, and I've never seen it either.
Me neither.
I'll Always Know, which they should have never made. But but yeah, the first two were fine. The first one being better than the second, obviously. And they were good. They were good for their time.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel the same way that it's not a good movie, like especially like number 2 is, but the first one, it's not a good movie, but it's a typical 90s to early 2000 kind of slasher vibe to it. It's not Scream, like you said. You can't be Scream.
Right.
But it is the typical teenage cast.
Mm-hmm.
This is the ultimate like rom-com fucking cast. You have Jennifer Love Hewitt,
young,
very young. You got young Jennifer Love Hewitt, young Freddie Prinze Jr., young Sarah Michelle Gellar, and young Ryan Phillippe. Like, all of them have been in multiple movies together.
Yes,
2 of them are married.
Yes,
still till this day.
Yep.
And 2 of them are Scooby Doo. They were in Scooby Doo.
Two of them were Scooby Doo.
One was Fred, and one indeed was Daphne. So they have had, all 4, I would say, have had successful careers.
Absolutely.
They have fallen off because times have changed. But at that time, I mean, when did you not turn on the television, or when did you not go to the movie theaters and there was a movie with Freddie Prinze or there was a movie with Ryan Phillippe?
She's All That and Cruel Intentions. Those were all
which
90s.
had Sarah Michelle Gellar in.
Which had Sarah Michelle Gellar in it. You know what I mean? Then we had 10 Things I Hate About You with Jennifer Love Hewitt and a few other ones. So
she was in God damn it. She was in Can't Hardly Wait.
Things. Oh, Can't Hardly Wait.
She's in Can't Hardly Wait.
So Can't Hardly Wait and 10 Things I Hate About You. Those were all they feel like the same
Julia
movie to me.
Stiles. Julia Stiles was
they feel like the same movie to me, no? Like
a little bit.
In a way.
I mean, I love Can't Hardly Wait. Like, man.
She's hot.
She's and Heartbreakers. Wow, and fucking Heartbreakers.
Yes, Heartbreakers were great. Heartbreakers was great. I just saying, like, for me, a little bit, like, looking back, 10 Things I Hate About You, and even growing up, and Can't Hardly Wait felt like the same movie, but I knew they weren't the same movie. Right. You know what I mean?
High school. It was a high school movie.
Yeah.
High school rom-com with some really good fucking songs in there, because they always had some good of those 90s like rock bands.
90s punk rock.
90s punk rock. A lot of people that are in it that, you would recognize and go, oh my God, that's Seth Green. And, oh my God, Jack Black. Like all this shit before they became famous. Like, it's that crazy. But when it comes to that, I Know What You Did Last Summer, again, like I mentioned, like you said, it is better than Urban Legend, and slightly, but better. I can go through it.
Better, yep.
Yeah, even like when Rebecca Gayheart takes off the mask, I was like, go fuck yourself. Like, fuck off.
Enough.
Because it's not believable. At least with I Know What You Did Last Summer, it was a grown-ass man.
It was a grown-ass man. Yep. And it made sense.
Yes, I agree 1,000%. And now we're going to do a little bit more of the comparisons now, because when it comes to the cast, as we just discussed, how do you feel about the cast in this new version of I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah. So, I mean, let's just get this out the way right now. They're not in high school. So these are not high school children. They are like a couple years already removed from high school. You know what I mean? And so they're grown ass people. And they're entitled grown ass Gen Z people.
Very much so.
And it just seems like their problems weren't really real. You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't want to sound like the old guy here on the show, but it just seems like they're superficial and just kind of like not connected, grounded even. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But as far as like the casting for the movie, you get a kind of a lookalike of all the other old ones. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, Teddy kind of looks like Ryan Phillippe in a way, in a weird way. You get Danica, who's a Mandolin Clean or whatever. She kind of has the Sarah Michelle Gellar thing going on, and then you get, of course, Chase Sue, who played Ava, and she kind of looks like a Asian version of Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like it's and then you get what's his name? Milo.
That was Prince Eric.
Yeah, he was.
He was Prince Eric in the live action Little Mermaid movie.
Yeah, he was, and he didn't look like him in this movie, which is kind of crazy.
No,
but you get him, and he kind of has this like Freddie Prinze Jr. pet, like puppy dog look to him too. So it was almost like they were like, oh my god, you guys look almost identical, but not really. Let's hire you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I like that you said too, like with that whole grounded situation, like their problems don't really add up right. Yeah. And because they're so entitled, us as an audience cannot get behind them. What is your problem? Daddy didn't buy you a boat? Like, I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me. Now, don't get me wrong. In the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, they were rich. Sarah Michelle Gellar, they had money. Ryan Phillippe had money.
Yep.
Except
they were rich.
Ray. Freddie Prinze Jr.
was always,
He didn't have the money. That was the whole thing. He even says the same line that Stevie says, where he's like, I can't go to jail. I cannot afford a lawyer. You know, but that but you can be connected with these characters in that sense, because though they have money, they weren't entitled. They were just fucking teenage idiots.
They were just teenage dirtbags, baby. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? And then they just pretended that it didn't happen. But
yeah, I agree.
That's the difference.
So that's another thing I want to mention too. Since we go from the cast and how we feel about that, let's talk about the accident, because the accident is very important when it comes to knowing what they did last summer.
Well, of course.
The original one was them driving. Freddie Prinze Jr. was driving, wasn't drinking. It was Ryan Phillippe and the girls. They were all having their drinks and having a good old time. And they end up hitting somebody. And at that point, they see the body on the floor, and they need to dispose of this body.
Right.
So there is a secret to tell. A secret not to tell. There is something they can actually make a pact.
Secret to keep.
Yes, there you go. It's a secret to keep. They can have a pact now, because it's like, we don't speak about this. And I'm going to bring in a scary movie of how they did it, because they really just harp and shit on I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like that whole, oh my God, we hit a boot.
Oh, we hit a boot. Where's the foot?
Where's the foot?
Where's the foot?
What the fuck? And like how which again, I rewatched the original, and how like when they dump the body, which by the way was still alive, they dumped the body.
Still alive. They grabbed him.
They knew that. They dumped the body. And then when Ryan Phillippe's like, we don't speak of this, and then, you know, Julie is not saying anything, he grabs her by the throat, and he's like choking her, and he's like, we don't speak about this. And Freddie Prinze Jr. is just watching the whole time. He's just like, hey, man, you should probably stop, man. And then Scary Movie did it, where he starts punching her, and he's beating the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And then Bobby's standing there, and he's like, hey, man, you're hurting her.
You're hurting him, man.
They did a really good job making fun of that movie. Now, the difference, though, I will say, is in the original, that was a legitimate, that was an accident.
Yeah.
Something happened. That was a
murder.
Legit
murder.
That was a murder.
A legit murder. Because then the way it was, that, like you said, they were drinking in the car. And then, like, Freddie Prinze Jr. was out the sunroof. I mean, Ryan Phillippe was out the sunroof. And he was just acting a fool. And then when the beer dropped, or whatever they had dropped all over the car.
Yeah, the big liquor bottle.
That's when they hit the guy. And then he even got the whole body, like, kind of over him, like, while he was outside of, like, the car.
Yeah.
And then all this stuff happened. So now you have more incriminating evidence, kind of like, you know, there's blood on him. There's booze all over the car, and like pieces of the car on the guy, like, and you know, so there's more stuff that you have to worry about,
right?
You know, like, to be like, oh shit, this is gonna look like we were drunk driving and we hit someone on the road,
right?
You know what I mean? And the fact that he was still alive, he can tell on them, and like they dispose of the body to make sure no one got in trouble. Like, that's a crime.
That is a crime.
That is a legit crime. It's manslaughter, one at least. Yes. And then attempt to cover it up, like,
yes, and that's jail time.
That means you have probable cause. And now when the evidence show this, it's not what really happened, is what they can prove in court. So it made more sense, the motive of them getting rid of the body.
Yes.
Now you shift to the new one. Right? right? And then you see how, well, they're just acting a fool. Someone's in the middle of the street. And yes, you're a dick for being in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And you cause an accident. But you guys also were all out the car and you tried to save them.
Yes.
And you failed. You failed.
Well, because they're not strong enough to pull a fucking truck back.
Right. I'm not saying that, they didn't try.
They did try,
failed.
though.
They tried their
try.
Hardest.
They actually
if they didn't
tried
let go,
to help
they would
him.
have died too. They would have died too.
Yes, if they didn't let go, they would have been going too. 1,000%. But you're 1,000% correct because they tried to help the guy.
Yes.
They weren't like, yo, fuck that, like bullshit. And like you said, like how, they ended up causing an accident. But here's the thing. That accident could have been prevented, and all it took was hitting the brakes.
Hitting the brakes.
Because he's seen them. He was that man. Let's be real. Teddy was standing in the middle of the street. He was tempting it. He was just like, I'm not fucking move. Dude, your lights are on. He must have been super duper speeding at that point. So I don't know what's going on there. And you could have just hit the brakes. You would have hit the brakes. Could hit the brakes, would have been perfectly fine. Nope. You tried to swerve out, which then he hits the fucking side. They try to save the man. Like all of them. Yes. They all do. It just doesn't work out.
And then it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And now they have to be like, well, we have to pretend that we were never here and
but why?
take it to our graves.
But why? You didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, you were dipshit, but
yeah. You know what I mean? And it's not like the last one. It's not like the first one where there's blood all over the car and on the people. There's booze all over the car, and you actually hit somebody with the car. Like, there's none of that. You know what I mean? There's, hey, we were on the side of the road watching the fireworks, and some dumbass which is called Dead Man's Curve.
That's right.
Or whatever it was called, that people die on this curve anyway, happened to swerve away and die. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but I'm saying that this shit was more of an accident than the first one.
Yes, I agree 1,000%. This was,
and there's no probable cause here. There's no reason for them to just
hide the
be
body
in the front of. You know what I mean? They didn't hide nobody. They didn't get rid of the body. They just walked away.
Yes, they walked away. It was leaving the scene of an accident. Really, in the long run, that was the biggest issue.
Basically, what you did. You just fled the scene of the accident.
But they could have got away. They could have easily got away, and nothing would have happened. Nothing
would have happened.
But the point is one, they tried to help. Yes, they're assholes. And would they get in trouble? Yes, they'll get in trouble because he was being a dick. But here's the thing. You got to tell them that's what happened. Like you said, I was watching the fucking fireworks. We were standing over here watching the fireworks. And the fucking crazy guy comes driving at 95 miles per hour on, what was it called? Dead Man's Swerve?
Yeah, whatever.
Dead Man's Curve, whatever the fuck it's called. Going 95 fucking, he fucking wiped out and he fucking crashed. We tried to help him.
And boom.
And then the fucking car fell. And then we called you, sir.
Yeah. And see, that leads you right into what we were doing.
But as we know, a movie has to movie.
Movie has to movie. I get it.
But that means you're not writing right. You're not writing the movie.
That just means if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? We're watching I Know What You Did Last Summer. You're copying off of a killer right now. You don't have to change the whole accident. This is the whole reason why he came back.
Well, yes, I agree. I feel like they shouldn't redo the accident because then it's not a requel. Now it's just, literally you're just
shot for shot.
You're just rebooting the movie. You're doing a complete different one. So I understand of changing the accident. It's just, it wasn't a true accident. Yes, obviously it's an accident, but it's not. They did, like you said, there was no probable cause. They didn't try to hide it. They didn't try to hide a body or some shit like that. They were just like,
listen,
call the cops.
Because, the last one was an accident, and then the way it looked is like, fuck. Like, we're gonna go down for this.
Yes.
Because
they knew they were going down.
Yeah. In this one, it was like, what was so scary that they had to flee the scene? You get me? Like, because the first one, like I said again, like, they had probable cause, like, fuck, there's booze all over the car. Like, we hit him. Like, how the hell are we going to get away with this?
Yes.
Like, to say that we are not bad people. Like, this one is like, we were, it just swerved. Like,
Yes.
At the end of the day, it was just one douchebag.
Yes, I agree, because it just, to me, their reactions would make sense of somebody, getting into an accident and falling off of a cliff and fucking perishing. That obviously will make you a little, oh my God, this is a terrible situation. But when they were sitting there and they were all just like, we can't do nothing, we can't say nothing, I'd be like, I'm sitting there watching it going, but you tried to help him.
Yeah.
If anything, you were trying to do the right thing. Yeah, okay. So Teddy was drinking. I mean, they all were technically somewhat drinking. They were all drinking. And he was smoking pot because, he lights up and whatnot. But again, by the time you didn't drop the bottle, you didn't drop anything, by the time the cops would have came, or by the time you would have got out of there, then called the police, there's no cameras.
There's nothing.
Who the fuck's going to know you were there? No, stupid asses. So
dummies.
They dropped the ball when it came to this, the setup. The setup was, they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
So when it comes to we'll get to the real nitty of the gritty in a little bit, but the kills, Mr. Malave, you are Mr. Glorious Gore himself, as we know. You loves good kills.
Yes.
Would you say the kills in the original is better, or would you say the kills in this one is better?
You know what? I'm going to say that the kills from this one are better. I'm going to say that they're better. I feel like there was a little bit more gore. They're a little bit more creative. I feel like in this one, and maybe it's because of the time we're living in with great CGI and the practical effects are a little better than the 90s. But I feel like the kills are a little better than the original. You know what I mean? And but they still kept to the same kind of concept with the kills, right? So in the first one, they don't really show everything when the killer's coming. Like the killer comes, you see the hook, you see all of this, and then the minute he tries to swing the hook, it shoots over to in the background or something else, and you see blood, and then you only see the finished product of the kill.
Yeah.
Right. And that's equally as creative. You know what I mean? And that's just the style that, the 90s took on. Well, I Know What You Did Last Summer took on, just because they didn't really have the screen budget. You know what I mean? They really didn't have, it wasn't a low budget film at that. It wasn't at all, but they just didn't have that bigger budget. You know what I mean? So it created kind of their kind of style of, showcasing the murders. Yeah. Right. Which this one does the same way. It doesn't really show everything until at least one of them.
Yes.
But yeah, I enjoyed the fact that they kept it to the same kind of style in the murders, but I do feel like this new one has better murders.
Yeah, I agree.
Better kills.
I agree. I think this one does have better kills. And what's is funny is because this is a rated R movie. It is rated R, but I feel like this should be PG-13. All they do is they say the F word a bunch of times. And
there's no sex scene because they don't really show tits.
Well, we get a lesbian scene though.
Oh yeah, no, that was nice.
But we don't see nothing.
Nice.
You just, no. But the whole point is you don't see nothing. We get a sex scene too with Ava and Milo. But again, you don't see nothing. There's clothes on and choke me, and he doesn't want to. Why wouldn't you want to choke her?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to choke? And he even said, he was like, I'll choke her if you want me to choke her. It was just like, yeah, bitch, what are you doing?
But it's just, what? Excuse me, sir. You're Prince Eric, okay? And maybe that's why he doesn't want to choke her, because he's Prince Eric.
That's why. He's wholesome. He's a
wholesome guy.
And he gets one solo song, and that's it.
Yeah, for real.
He doesn't want to choke bitches anymore.
It's fine. You know what? And that's why he ends up dying by being choked.
The irony.
Very funny. And but again, his death, it was absolutely garbage. But it was just, you just got choked out. But I feel like this movie, it's like they were writing it. They said this is a PG-13 movie. The fucking studio was like, we need it to be R. Throw a couple F words in there. We'll show one major, good kill. But otherwise, it's mostly just cutaways. You're not really getting much.
Yeah.
So, but again, better than what we got in the original because of how that slasher film was usually done, where it was a lot of cutaways for kills. And then like you said, you see the end result, which is fine. So they're paying the homage, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. No issues there.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I had no issues there. What was your favorite death, though?
Ooh.
What was your favorite kill?
I mean, do you want to do this now?
You know what?
You know what?
I think we should. I think we're in the mid. We're talking about kills. So, I mean, I think it's only fair that Mista Malave tells us his glorious gore.
Glorious gore! Glorious, and I won't survive. I won't survive because of glorious gore. And I won't survive. I won't survive.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. The segment is back with some glorious gore. And I'm glorious. And you know what? There was some glorious gore in this movie. Even though we didn't see it all, sometimes we don't need to see the penetration, if you know what I mean, to actually have some fun. You know what I mean? And in this movie, we had some fun. All right? We definitely had some fun. And I'm talking about harpoons getting thrown into, shot into people's stomachs. I'm talking about harpoons I'm talking about fisher hooks getting sliced and diced into people's throats. You know what I mean? And I am talking about some people hanging upside down on hooks like fish, like fucking fish. And let me tell you, when you see that graphic and I'm like, oh my God, that is gory and that is traumatizing. Whoever's there, it's traumatizing. We get a lot of hanging in this movie. 2 people actually died via hanging. Well, sort of. You know what I mean? We get the podcaster who kind of like gets stabbed, but then gets a rope and they throw her down for a statement. You know what I mean? And then we get poor old Milo who didn't want to choke the girl to get off and winded up getting killed, getting choked. And he didn't even get to choke his chicken. So that sucks. You know what I mean? That sucks so much. But I got to tell you, the most glorious of gore happens to be something that I just mentioned earlier when you saw the end result and they're hanging upside down like the fish that they are, right? I'm talking about a father-son death, right? On top of Tyler getting stabbed up a bunch of times and dying in his dad's arms, you get that hook that we've been like, I just want them to just stab it right in someone's chin or through someone's throat, and we get it, and we finally see it. We see the hook go from one side of the throat to the other side of the throat. And you're like, oh my God, this is glorious, glorious gore. And I got to tell you, I wanted to clap and stand up in approval, but I didn't because I was in the theater. But that was glorious and it was gory and I love it.
Yeah, that was the best death. I agree. That was the best death of the movie. I mean, we got to see it, but we got to see it slowly too. Because you don't stick a hook in somebody, right? You gotta go.
It takes force.
Yeah, you gotta put the force. You gotta get it in there a little bit, and then give it a nice little jab.
You gotta get the right angle because it's not like a straight knife that goes straight through. You have to kind of like curve it. You know what I mean? You're curving the hook, and you just hear everything cracking and breaking inside. It was great. It was great. I said it before. And sometimes that sound effects with the horror, just like with the kills, makes it so much better. So much better.
I have to agree. I would say that is definitely the best kill in this movie. Now, let's before we get into the mega, the twist and twist, the ending. Let's talk about those legacy characters because, as we know in requels,
we have to.
Legacy characters are a big deal. So we have Freddie Prinze Jr. back as Ray, and we have
FPJ, baby.
Ooh, we missed him so much because he's kind of been missing for a while.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Love Hewitt is back as Julie. And
Slim thickens. That's what I'm talking
She looks, I don't give a fuck what people are saying. She looks great.
People body shaming her for no fucking reason. She got some hips.
She does. She looks great.
Thick. She got
looks yummy.
She's in her thick girl era, and I love it.
I love it too. It's still a big fan of her. Still a big fan of her. But I will tell you this: based on the other requels with legacy characters, both of them were shit.
Yeah, I felt like they wrote the legacy characters really bad. I mean, Jennifer Love Hewitt's not really in it. Like,
no,
she gets promoted so much in this movie. We need her help on some Sydney shit in Scream 4 and 5, and we don't get that. We don't get her even coming face to face with the Fisherman at all. You know what I mean? Which I feel like, and we'll talk about the ending later, I feel like that probably would have made it a little better with the reveal. But yeah, it was just, it fell flat. She was just like, I'm off this bitch. We get like a fake jump scare, but it felt too Scream-esque of like someone's in the front or someone's in the back, and then, oh, it's Freddie Prinze Jr. coming to say hello. You know what I mean? So I felt like that fell flat. And then when Ray's appearance felt like forceful, no one even said that he was still in town. No one even knew about it. And then he just shows up and he's been there the whole time.
Yes.
Like it was just stupid. And then he was really in the movie until he was in the movie. And then you're like, well, I really don't care anymore. Like, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, okay, between both of them, you know, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character had more purpose.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
he has
did.
more of a purpose than
he has more connections with what's going on now.
Yes, he does. And Julie is, again, she's like a teacher at professor. Oh, that's right, professor. Sorry, she's a professor at, I don't remember what school, Harvard or some shit. It was one of those type of schools.
It's one of the North Carolina schools.
And she's, but here's the problem though with utilizing Jennifer Love Hewitt and how bad the writing is when she talks like no one else speaks. Like nobody talks this way of how, you know, they come up, Ava comes up to her and she goes, you know, it's happening again. People are dying. And she's like, you know, get away from me. I don't want to deal with this. And she goes, you know, my friends are dying. And she turns around and says, I just have one question for you. Pause. What did you do last summer? Nobody talks like that.
God.
Nobody talks like that.
Yeah.
You had to say the name of the movie.
It was so forced, and like I felt like, you know, there was no reason. It was like, oh, she said it. You know, there was none of that. It was just like, bro, like, yeah, you have one question for her. Like, you didn't need. She didn't even have to say it. Just cut the scene, and then go to another scene. Why? You know what she's gonna say.
But she never mentioned summer. Ava never said like last 4th of July.
She didn't even say it. She goes last year.
Yeah. Something happened last year, the guy with the slicker on, and then just, the one question, what did you do last summer? And she could have been like, well, I was at my mother's house. What does that have to do with anything? This actually occurred in the fall.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, wow, like that's a scary movie thing right there. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
So you don't need me then. You know,
right,
that's
right.
just,
So you don't need me. You need to go contact this guy, and it's Laurie Strode from Halloween. Like,
sure.
You know what I mean? Shit like that in parodies, that would be hilarious. But
not when it's supposed to be. It was delivered and obviously written seriously. This was written for her to say it that way. And it's almost like you have to question if Jennifer Love Hewitt can actually act, because it was delivered just terrible.
Yeah, and that's been like the running joke with Jennifer Love Hewitt all her career. Like, she can't really act. She just does the pouty face and complains, or like smiles and does this little, I'm the cute girl that's a little weird and introverted.
Yeah.
And like, I'm always sad. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just, it sucks, because then you get that line and you're like, oh, sweetheart, you still look amazing.
Yeah, you do.
But fuck.
Like even her, what are you waiting for? And from the original.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You're sitting there like, somebody wrote that.
Yeah. Yeah, she had to say it twice. Once like soft,
in a circle,
and then the other one yelling
in a circle.
You know what I mean? Just to try to make it sound different. And it's just like, come on, you definitely wrote that. The screenwriters, they did some questionable like decisions. You know, they did some questionable decisions, and I feel like maybe it was because they were trying to appeal to the Gen Zers more and leaving some of the nostalgia like on the cutting room floor. And they were like, well, if they say the lines, everyone will be okay. They're already in the screen, so they'll be all right, right?
That's probably what they
thought.
That's probably what they thought. They were thinking this nostalgia trip with this Gen Z version of it. I mean, the director is Jennifer Caitlin Robinson, who's also a writer on it. She also co-wrote fucking Thor: Love and Thunder. So that was fucking fantastic writing. Which, and you know what, it shows when you watch this movie that the writing is just not good. They tried to work with this Gen Z mass where they can use these terminologies, but the movies from the 90s, if you're going to get anybody to be invested in it, we are that audience. The millennials are the ones that want to see that, not the fucking Gen Z's going, no, this is stupid. Yes, I agree it's stupid because no one talks like that.
Yeah, no one talks like that at all. You know what I mean? They did other things right, though, right? And now I'm just going to point those out, like as far as the nostalgia and with the characters and everything else for this movie, right? There's certain things that they did right, the writing I'm alluding to. So, like the one thing is just like the legacy lore with like the podcaster, right? There's this new element of, of reporting that's podcasting that, we're on right now. And they just so happen to have a podcaster that's doing something on the 1997 massacres over in the same place. So I love that part. My favorite line of nostalgia was when, what's his name? The new Ryan Phillippe, Tyler, was just like a Teddy. Yeah, Teddy. Sorry. He's just like, oh, I'll grab my boat and we could just head to the Bahamas. And then Freddie Prinze is just like, for reasons that I won't get into, we are not gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, you shouldn't do that. And then it's a nod to I still know what you did last summer and how much it sucked. You know what I mean? But the fact that they nodding to that and they know that it still exists. It's still canon. You know what I mean? So that was cool. And then, of course, as far as legacy characters are concerned, of course, we can't get Ryan Phillippe because he's dead in the movie, not in real life. God forbid.
Yes.
And so is Sarah Michelle Gellar, which is Helen.
Yes.
They're both, dead in the movie, but we do get a really good nightmare scene.
We get a good nightmare cameo.
Yeah. And, she still looks amazing.
She does.
You know what I mean? I know there's still some CGI in there.
They de-aged a little bit, yeah.
But she still looks fantastic because I've seen her in the premiere and she still looks really good.
She does.
She would never look as good as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I'm putting it out there.
I agree.
I'm putting it out there, and if you don't agree with me, then you can just fuck off. But yeah, we get that beautiful nightmare scene, and it shows her right before she when she sees Ryan dies in the front, that iconic scene, which, as everyone can just see, Scary Movie again with what's her name, Nadia, but
Buffy.
with Buffy.
Her name is Buffy.
Her name is Buffy in Scary Movie. But yes, we get her in that scene with the crown, and she's like, "Oh, she's pretty," and you get a good banter from her and the new Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Danica.
And you get pretty eerie scene. That was nostalgic and that was done well. You know what I mean? But so I had to shout out those things that they did well in the movie as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I like even when she kind of like turns into that like skeleton kind of zombie like thing. Like that was cool too. CGI all the way, but like it was fine and it worked, and her cameo fits really well. I think it doesn't make sense that Danica's seeing her. Like why her? Wouldn't it be Julie if anything is seeing her?
I feel like it would be her because she's been learning more about her, and she realized that they had a connection as far as being like a Kroger queen.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because they were both queens, like like the same
sense.
pageant. You know what I mean? And she even said it like on her license plate. It said Kroger Queen on it, so it makes more sense that like she saw her in the graveyard. She saw her grave.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it made sense.
Okay, well, in that case, then that does make a lot of sense. So, all right, there's your legacy characters. Now let's get into what a lot of people are talking about when it comes to this movie, and it's the reveals. There's two killers. Originally, there was only one, and number two, there was two. But this one, there are two killers. And first off, let me ask, Mr. Malave, I got to ask you, did you know?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
Yeah, I did not know. It was hidden in plain sight, I guess. But I did not know. And if we're talking about the first reveal, I did not know.
I'm talking about both.
Both. No, definitely not the Definitely not the second one.
Okay.
Maybe some hints of the first one,
Okay.
but I was surprised, which is good because, you know, in these whodunit movies, it's kind of hard to surprise me as far as not knowing who the killer actually is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's weird because like in I guess because I was going into that thinking I Know What You Did Last Summer, you know, and the killer is the person who survived. You know what I mean? Like
Ben
shit
Willis.
like that. I wasn't expecting, you know,
Well, we'll get there. We're
like a
gonna get there.
scream reveal.
Yes. Yes.
You know, because this is what it was. That's what it was. It was a scream reveal.
It
Like,
was a scream reveal.
both of them was scream reveals.
Yes,
Like,
it was.
carbon copy.
Yes, it was.
Of scream reveals, just not with the right punch. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree because here's the thing. The first one, like you said, there was little sprinkles there here and there. You can kind of see when it is revealed, and we'll get there in a second, but when it is revealed where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. The second reveal, I hated the second reveal. I despise that. And
Oh yeah.
but it is also pretty obvious because when the podcaster is killed, the girl, she rips
It's
off
you.
and she says, "It's you." Now, here's the
oh my
thing.
God, it's you.
She doesn't know anybody. She's never met any of them.
Right.
She's only met
Right.
Ava. So if she knows, because she's doing the podcasting, she's there because of the 1997 the murders, she would know Ray.
Right.
She would know that face. She doesn't know what fucking Stevie looks like. Stevie looks like.
Yeah.
You said Stifler.
I did.
You did. That's American Pie. But she would know what Ray looks like. So when Ray, surprise, turns out to be the
Surprise, everyone.
second fucking killer in theater, I said, "Oh, fuck off."
Yeah.
Fuck
I
off.
kinda was just like,
fuck
you
yourself.
serious?
Like, fuck yourself. I was not pleased. Very
Yeah.
stupid. I hated. All right, now let's talk about this because again,
Yeah,
this is
let's
what's
talk
going
about
on. Well, Stevie is believable. You can understand what they were trying to go with.
She has motive. She has
a motive.
You know what I mean? So her reveal was like, okay, once you figure it out, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like once the reveal happens, you're like, all right, well, listen, she's a grown ass woman, but she literally Teddy and her scrapped. So there's no way that she's surviving a scrapping match with Teddy. Like, You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. Like we reveal her, she becomes like, well, all this like this gruntle girlfriend kind of thing.
Psycho.
Because the whole psycho girlfriend. Because the whole thing was like she got saved because she was like dealing with a lot of drugs.
Yes.
And she joined this prayer group that just so happens to have the boyfriend that she met. And that boyfriend that she met was coming to pick her up the night that they grabbed her and went to do
So she didn't
fireworks
relapse.
and stuff. And the boyfriend went to go pick her up in someone else's truck to save her because they thought she was going to relapse. And then we all know what happens. He dies. And that causes her to kill everybody, grab a revenge plot.
Yes, she goes for the
You know,
revenge
so-
plot. But you know what? Also, I think too, sometimes, and I go, it is a stupid motive because, bitch, you were there. You
were there.
seen they tried to help. You know Ava wanted to go to the cops, which,
Yeah.
as you know, when we were talking before recording, you mentioned they were going to spare her because she was the one that actually cared.
Right.
But again, bitch, you were part of this.
You were part of the whole thing.
He's dead
No, but
too 'cause
I
of
wanted
you.
to go to the cops.
No, you didn't. No,
you
she
were the first
didn't.
one. You were the first one.
She said-
that said
she said
I
Ray's
don't have
line.
money for the lawyer.
She said the Ray line.
Right.
Said the
right.
Ray line. She did not want to go to the police. Only Ava wanted to go to the police. And then she finds out it was her boyfriend. Now she's like, I'm a psycho and I'm going to kill all of you.
Yeah.
Like,
We should have helped them better.
"Brr, shut up, bitch." Like, that was stupid. But here's the thing.
Stupid.
It's fine because to make it one of the friends. Like, okie dokie, that's
Right.
okay.
You wanted to make it different. Yeah, sure. I like that it was different.
Sure.
You wanted to go
Take
the
a shot.
extreme way. It was a twist. The killer was the friend. Not bad.
Sure. But then you made then you made Freddie Prinze Jr. the killer. And Freddie Prinze Jr. Now, here's the thing. Using a legacy character and turning them into a killer has not been done yet. But you could probably do this right. There's probably a way to do it. Unfortunately, and I don't care what anybody says, oh, it's ballsy, trauma, fuck yourself, because that's not what trauma does to somebody. You know, his relationship with Julie, we find out they were married. They ended up getting divorced because Ray just couldn't he was still holding on to the past and she was moving forward. She was way more fucking stalked than he was. She was literally at her deathbed half the fucking time. And all Ray was sitting there is just, oh my God, I fucking can't stand it because it's just that whole, Julie, they forgot about us. They tried to erase us. Excuse me, sir? Excuse me. No.
So stupid.
He tried to help, you know, he tries to help Stevie. And he makes it clear, like, you know, he goes, they're in many scenes together. He is the boss. They're in many scenes. There's the one time where he says, I did promise your father that I would look out for you, like all this shit. So he's the father figure. So okie dokie, that's fine. And he's just like, when, you know, Stevie was down and all this shit. So I told her, this is what we're going to do. When did you become a psycho, sir?
Yeah. When did all of that happen?
In the time that he hasn't acted.
Yeah, pretty much. The revenge against the Hollywood people.
I don't like it. I think that's such a cop-out and such a weak way to just get Freddie Prinze out. Like, that was kind of like, he agreed. Because if you watch interviews with him, he was like, I didn't even read the script yet. They just told me what they were going to do. And he's like, and then I agreed to it. And I was like, you probably thought, I don't want to do movies anymore. Because if you notice, he really doesn't do movies. He usually declines a lot. And they were like, and then we're going to kill you. And he's like, kill my character can never come back. It looks like I see what you're trying to do, like Scream. Yes, I'll do it. Kill my character. And yes, make me a bad guy so that, like, I can, you know, it means more. No, sir, it didn't mean more. It was fucking annoying. And the one thing that I really hated, and Mr. Malave, I want to know what your take on this one too is, when they're on the boat, and again, if he was going to try to kill them, that was the perfect opportunity. He had both of them on the fucking boat, could have killed both of them and been like, oh yeah, Danica was the killer. Like, you could have got away with it. So stupid. Really, really stupid. But the other thing that really irks me is that when, after, you know, fucking they shoot Stevie and Danica goes over the boat, does Ava call the police? No, she does not. She calls fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh, it turned out that Stevie's actually the killer. Okay, talk to you later. Bye, mwah. Like, lady, your friend just got killed. Your friend that you were close with for so long is a psychopath. That sounded like you were just like, oh no, we just found a cat and he's very happy. Talk to you later. Bye, mwah. Kisses. Yeah. I hated that. But then, and this is where I want to touch base with you on this one. Jennifer Love Hewitt goes on the computer, types in something, and then goes, oh no, runs away, and the camera zooms in, which shows a picture of Ray and Stevie, like a big reveal that us, as the fucking audience, knew the whole time.
Yeah. Well, first of all, she knew that too, because he came to see her and was like, yes, I'm hearing from Stevie. And then while they were in the same room, they both get a call. Like, and one of them was from Stevie. So you're painting, like, for the cameras to pan to the computer screen and shows a picture of both of them. Like, you know what I mean? What are you actually revealing? That they work together?
But we
know that they work the fuck together.
We knew that.
You know what I mean? And then, oh, wow. Oh, they really work together. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're both killing now.
But I hate that because that's supposed to be the audience, like, gasp. That's the moment where the audience, oh shit. But we knew that.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
We knew they were close.
So stupid. It was let down. And then when we pan to the next scene and she tries to leave, even him as a bad guy, you're just like, oh my God. Like, you don't do this well.
No,
like,
he does
at
not.
all. And then you're proceeding to tell us why. And it's not believable. And don't give me this shit. And I'm going back to the screenwriting for this, right? Because don't give me shit that you planted this motive throughout the whole movie of trauma changes you, right? Because it didn't fucking work. All right. Trauma changes you. Really? You go through 2 of these things and you're the hero and this changes you? You're not even related to anybody of these things. You weren't even the same prayer group as this motherfucker. Like what? What? You're just saying because they try to erase this fucking brutal murders that happened that now you're gonna have them remember you? What? You want to be remembered as the murderer that you try to cover, the murderer that you tried to cover up. Got it. Okay. You're fucking stupid.
That's very smart. Yeah, I like that. I never thought about that you want to be remembered for the murder that you tried to cover up. That is I like that. That's really good because I never thought about that. But yes, I did say also, I agree that Ray never came off, he's not the smartest kid in the world, but he never came off as stupid.
No, but he came up as loyal and good, right?
Yes.
And that's why they were like, oh, you see, everyone can turn bad. No, not the right way.
No,
not the right
everybody can. That's like if Dewey turns bad. It's not going to fit.
Yeah. That's like, come on. There were times where we thought Gail.
Yes, she's a red herring, but honestly, you know what I mean? So is Ray. Ray is actually a really good red herring.
Yes.
You know, but when you have the red herring, just like Gail, that was a great one to put out there. Gail's also a red herring, and you have those characters. If you turn them into the killer, it ruins the concept of a red herring where you are supposed to believe, like, can he be? And then when it's not, you're like, yeah, why am I thinking that? So when it actually happens, you're like, wait, when the fuck did you show that? Where's the hand?
Yeah. Where's your hand? You just threw out a left field. You wanted to be different. And you said, how can we make this completely not Scream?
Yeah.
Like, think about it, right? You decided to have a revenge murder, right? And it was revenge on one of the friends, like all your friends. This is Scream.
Yes.
Like, if you think about it, like, and this was what everyone was thinking back in the 90s when this movie came out, right? Oh shit, this is like another Scream movie, right? And it happened to be not, right? This is just a guy that survived this fucking thing and is coming back for revenge. This is not Scream, right? And then what? You get the requel, and now you're just biting off a Scream. It's what we always thought, and now you made it to be true, and you didn't do it the right way. You didn't do it the right fucking way.
Yeah.
We care enough about Ray being the red herring. We don't care enough about him turning heel. Basically, it's what he did. He fucking became
a good way to put it. Yeah, a little wrestling terminology right there. Turning heel means turning
bad. It's like John
bad.
Cena's heel turn. We don't care about it anymore because The Rock is not there.
That's right.
We don't care about Freddie Prinze Jr.'s heel turn because there's no reason for him to turn.
He has no reason.
There's no motive.
There's no good motive.
There's no good motive.
There's no good motive.
What changed you? What, they try to bury you? No, you have a bar that says your name on it.
Yeah, and first off, if they want to
are.
bury it, that's a good thing. That was the whole fucking point of you.
That was the whole reason why you got into this mess. They try to forget about us. And then and Jennifer Love Hewitt said it. Like, she even said it. She was like, you want them to remember us? Like, really? Like, she even said it. She was like, you want us to remember us for this.
Yeah. And now look what he's remembered.
A year later and a manslaughter the year before. Like, no. Yes. I want people to forget about that shit.
Yes, but the thing was, and what they tried to do was to say that he couldn't, and it ate him alive. Bro, seriously?
It's different if they were like, if he had this crazy thing and he kind of set them up to get Stevie on his side to get this revenge plot and then then put everything in motion. Then he's the mastermind that couldn't deal with this shit, right? And had to formulate this big ass plot to make people remember them, right? But then again, guess what did that? Scream 4.
Yeah, Scream 4.
4 did that. Oh, it's the 20-something year anniversary of the first Woodsboro murders. Let's redo all of this so that in the new age, and it's like our own story so they can remember it. Like, that's a whole formulated plan.
And you know what works and why it works for Scream? Scream is meta.
It's meta.
Scream lives in the world of horror movies. Scream understands that horror is it does exist. These movies exist. You know, the concept of stupid decisions, splitting up, all that shit is involved. That is not the case. And I Know What You Did Last Summer. It is not a meta movie. Some people think it is. It's not, because they're not talking about, like, you know, when we go back to Scream, the rules.
Right.
There's rules to this shit. You know, how about the fact like these idiots are in the fucking, like, nobody sleeps alone. Nobody sleeps alone. Right. And then what do? They fucking go in different rooms.
They go to different rooms. Like, instead of staying in one room, all four of them.
Wouldn't that make the most sense? That would make the most fucking sense. But nope, because...
But then it would have been okay if they were dumb teenagers, right? Because they don't know better.
They're not teenagers. That's what's crazy.
They're not dumb teenagers. They're grown-ass people.
Yes. One of them's getting married.
It makes sense twice.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense when they're dumb teenagers, because we're, as audiences, like, you stupid idiot. Like, you don't know better.
Kids.
But you're grown-ass adults.
Yes. 1,000%, I mean? Yes. And I feel that they were stupid, and so were the adults. Jennifer Love Hewitt was a worthless fucking character. She did nothing. Yeah. She said a couple of lines.
Yep.
You know,
she didn't even kill any of the killers.
She didn't even kill Ray. If anybody was gonna, where was the first off? We should have had a chase scene. If you wanted to make it good, if Ray's the killer and he's gonna kill her, you got to get the chase scene. But nope,
you got to get the chase scene between
he gets a harpoon
and him.
He gets a harpoon from Ava.
Like, if you're gonna go all in, you gotta go all in. Like, you can't just be like, yeah, let's do that, and then kill him off 2 seconds. You gotta make him seem powerful. You have a struggle with him and Ava, and then you don't see what happens off screen. Yeah. And then she comes in, there's no one there, and then Ava comes in, and then he has this big reveal to Jennifer Love Hewitt. Talks about it galore like they always do. And instead of having the chase around the bar where everything gets destroyed, you know what I mean? A harpoon, as like he's jumping, like she jumps in the water, and a harpoon that he's jumping up after her, and then he just like hangs, and then a harpoon goes right through him. That's a better kill. Sure. But we need the change. We need the chase. And we don't get the payoff. That's what it is. You turned him heel, and you don't get the payoff, and he just dies. There's no payoff. It's only worth it if you get those moments with him, the two legacy characters. Yeah. And the new character saving the day.
Don't you think it would be more interesting if, like, so, you know, Ray and Ava's at the bar, Julie's on her way there because she got the phone call, forget the computer thing, and she has the epiphany. She shows up to the bar, but before that, Ray goes to the back. You hear some sort of scuffle, and then comes the slicker. Here comes the fisherman. And they're like, oh my God, he's still fucking alive. And all he cares about is Julie. I'm going to kill Julie. Because that's the fucking point of the first two movies. I'm killing Julie James. And then they start to scuffle a little bit. He gets a hook in her. Nice, good fucking shot to the side. She pulls the fucking mask off, and it looks, and it's Freddie Prinze Jr. And you go, bang. And all she has to say is, why?
Yeah, that's it.
And he has to say nothing.
Yeah.
He says nothing. Now she's gone. He completed the whole psycho fucking trauma bullshit. He killed off the fucking major fucking character that in the long run left him. Left him still in Southport. And then fucking turns around, goes after Ava, and then you can do the harpoon thing or whatever way you want to kill him. There's the motive, because I would prefer him not having the motive to where we know it, because it's good to walk out sometimes and think, why would he do that? But when you see that face, if he's like looking at Jennifer Love Hewitt and he's got like those crazy eyes, like, yo, he fucking snapped. Like, that's insane. But they try.
Sometimes less is more.
Yes, but the problem with this movie is they're telling us that. Oh, he has trauma. Oh, he has this. Oh, he has that. Instead of show it to me. He looks completely normal the whole fucking movie, and then now he wants to be a crazy person. Like, I'm sorry. I hate this reveal. I feel you ruined a fucking character. You ruined Freddie Prinze Jr.'s fucking comeback into fucking film. And, you know, whatever. I disliked it. So what is your true feelings about the ending, this reveal?
So I felt like the reveal was unnecessary, right? And we've been talking about it. I felt like it was unnecessary. We got the Scream reveal that, you know, whatever, like the friend. It was different than the original. You succeeded in making a pretty decent requel. You know, we'll talk about to death with all the other dialogues and the screenplay itself. But at the end of the day, the deaths were better. The whole movie in general was good. It was decent enough to be like, well, you know what? There's another I Know What You Did Last Summer, and we could keep moving on. They're going in this direction now. Yep. And still have the post-credit scene, which we'll get into that, and still be okay with it, right? But when you do this, it's a sign of you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Right? And if this was always going to be the end goal with this requel, then why didn't you make it around, like, surrounded by Freddie Prinze Jr. being the reveal? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could have done a lot better as far as developing the psychosis that will eventually take over Freddie Prinze Jr. and be like, oh shit, he snapped. You said it perfectly. He didn't have to say anything, but by him killing Jennifer Love Hewitt, like, that would have just been like, oh shit. And he doesn't say anything. Movie over.
Movie over.
Movie over. You still get the whatever else, but movie over.
And no sequel.
You don't get a why.
And no
sequel.
No sequel.
No sequel. You don't get a why.
We don't need a sequel.
You know what I mean? We don't know. It could have been, and then the speculation's the same. Could have been of Stevie like snapped because it was former brother, and they tied up everything else together. And then Dre just lives on. They even, you know, it'd be funny. They even interview him like, yeah, you know, Stevie, you know, she had a rough life, you know, and and then she's like, it's just a shame that she had to snap that way. And then just kind of like looks in the camera and then movie over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like shit like that. It's just like, oh shit.
Why the fuck
I
not?
know what you did last summer. Fucking killed it.
Yeah. Like, why the fuck not? And you know what? And let's get into that final, the after credit scene. But one thing I want to ask you, because before we get to that after credit scene, we have Ava and Danica coming out of the hospital. They talk about, do you want some food? Because that's what you say after what you go through. You want some food. And then they're sitting there on the beach, and she says, this wouldn't have happened if men go to therapy.
Oh my
Go fuck yourself, movie.
Yeah, yeah. Those are those little punches that they're just kind of trying to push a narrative, a feminist narrative. And like, I'm for a feminist. I'm a feminist. All right. Let's just be honest. Like,
sure.
You know what I mean? I love that women are getting like all the praises that they need to get praised, because they are strong-willed women, right? And they deserve all the flowers, right? That being said, you don't have to shove it down our throats all the time.
Right.
It's almost like the homosexual narrative, right? Like, and all the LGBTQ plus, don't shove it down our throats for us to be okay with it. Like, no, like, listen, representation matters and everything else like that. But you saying this wouldn't happen unless men went to therapy. Like, what is the point of driving that line, right? As a writer myself, like, maybe not of screenplays, but of music and like songs and everything else like that, I don't just put words in there just to put them in there and they are half-ass, right? I always mean everything that I say. And sometimes I get caught up on a phrase or a word because I don't think it's the right word to use or the right phrase to use in the situation, because it may mean something else, right? So with this line being said, it's almost like, what? Why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you mentioned it before, like with you and your breakup with Teddy. You know, like he should have went to therapy and da-da-da-da-da-da. So then you're bringing it up again like that. Is it supposed to hit like a joke? Because it didn't hit like a joke. You get me? Like, and if it was supposed to hit like a joke, you need to, it's called reprise. You need to make it a joke first to actually make it hit at the end again.
Yes.
Right? So this was just a line to get put in there to push a kind of narrative. Right? That what? Because men are too proud sometimes to seek therapy that they snap. You know what I mean? First of all, that's ridiculous, right? Right? It may be a lot. It may have happened, but guess what? I've seen Snapped. There's a whole show on Snapped, and you know who gets repressed anger that just eventually builds up and builds up and builds up and snaps? Women, right? So like, don't give me that shit. It's a catch-22. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying that it's not there's no reason for it. You know, so miss me with that bullshit with this wouldn't have happened if Freddie Prinze Jr. went to therapy for all those years. Yeah, maybe. But you know what? You're all going to need therapy all your life too. Or maybe Stevie would have went to therapy for a whole year. She probably would have never went to Freddie Prinze Jr. talking about wanting to kill all of y'all. And then him saying, you know what? It's a good idea. So you know what? Maybe everyone should just go to therapy, not just men. And that's what I feel about that fucking line.
Amen. I couldn't say it any better myself. That was really spoken really well. And I don't think you need to go to therapy.
No.
I don't think you need to go to therapy for it. Sometimes, you know what?
I mean, if you do, then you do.
Then go to therapy.
But if you don't, then don't.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Some people just don't go to therapy. They don't need to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to listen to some good music.
Sometimes music could be therapy. Right?
Movie therapy.
Hobbies. You know what I mean? Not killing, hobbies.
Yeah, you don't have to kill nobody.
If you want a little bloodlust, go hunting. That's a hobby.
Sure. You want to kill something? Kill some fuck. Go hunting. Go fishing.
You know what I mean? Not all the time.
I feel like I got to hook somebody in the neck. Like, what?
That's what it is, man. That's another little problem with the screenplay. And we said it earlier. Like, they try to be too woke, and they're not meta. Like, Scream is great because they're meta. They know what they are. They know how to break the fourth wall in a smart, witty way. And they've always been like that. Always been like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're trying to do too much here, and it's just not hitting. Maybe it hit for the Gen Zers then. I don't know. But it just didn't hit.
Based on a lot of comments that I've seen on TikTok and Letterboxd and whatnot, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like a lot of the Gen Zs, it's ballsy and, I appreciate what they did. The trauma makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
This is the problem. Everyone feels like a victim.
Thank you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yes, that is very true. Everybody,
that's just how people are now.
They're just wimps nowadays. Mm-hmm. We didn't grow up like that. Everyone's a victim. We just didn't grow up like that. If you were a fucking wimp, well, you better get your shit together because life's gonna beat you up. And I will tell you this. Since we're on this topic and of how trauma and what people can tell you and manipulate and whatnot, when we grew up, a lot of our parents always told us to go to school, work hard, and you'll succeed. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that I've learned is that we have succeeded.
Right.
You know, just because we're not millionaires does not mean we have not succeeded. And a lot of people sit there and they go, well, you know, my mom and dad told me I would just go to become a doctor and all this shit. No, what did you want your mom and dad to tell you? Slack off. Don't go to school. Go to therapy. You want a hug. You need this. You need that. No, our parents taught us. It's right. It's okay, boo, boo, blah, blah, blah. No, our parents taught us to fight for what we wanted, not just fist fighting. They taught us that you need to work to survive. That's the whole key. Not you. Nowadays, that's why we use the term of entitlement. When people act like they have the world, I have this brand new car and all this shit, but you were given it. It was a handout. It was a handout. You didn't earn that. And one thing our parents and a lot of the old school people have expressed to us is earn your stripes. Yep. Work your ass off. Like, for example, people can sit there and be like, well, what have you succeeded? Well, I live in another state. I have 2 kids. I have my own place, my own car. I have a job, all this shit. Mr. Malave, you have your own place. You are your own car. You have a full-time job. You are you have recorded multiple songs and have had hits before and have performed in many different locations. I consider that, sir, success. And you didn't need fucking therapy to do it. So they can all fuck themselves for that. I don't care. Welcome to fucking Night School Horror. Welcome to Second Rounds on Us. This is our attitudes, and it's always been that way. So we're gonna wrap it up real soon, but we have to talk about that. It's very quick because it is the after credit scene where we get to see Brandy again. Mr. Malave, how did you feel at seeing Brandy?
I love me some Moesha. I got to be honest with you. I love me some Brandy.
Well, was the boy yours at that point?
Well, the boy. No, I was the boy.
You were the boy. Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If I did have to choose, though, I would have chose Monica. But
me too.
Either way, it's good to see Brandy there. I'm a big fan of her, a big fan of her music, obviously first. Her acting, not so much. I loved her in Cinderella. It was great.
Yes.
But the fact that she gets a nice little, like a little homage to I Still Know, and seeing her again is just like, all right, just goes to show that there's another Slim Dickens in our midst, you know? And then, you know, the whole reason of why she's on there and she's seeing what happened, and then Ray, even she was kind of confused about it, which was funny because she was just like, that girl just someone stays trying to kill her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, she was even like, what, Ray? Really? Like, not even on some like, oh my God, I'm so fucking shocked. She was just like even us, like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But whatever, she gets the doorbell and everything else like that. And then the whole reason why, of course, is Jennifer Love Hewitt, and she's there, and she's like, "Oh my God, girl, what's up? What's going on?" Blah blah blah. And then we see that the killer's still around. They're not done with you yet. And then it finishes.
Yes.
You know?
It finishes with a picture of them
with the old picture
with
and
the X
around Brandy's
and then it
face.
says what? I know, or I still know, or it's not over.
It says it's not over.
It's
yet.
not over yet, right? So
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Mr. Malave, do you think we're getting a sequel?
Yes. I mean, well, it depends, right? It all depends on how much traction this movie is getting. And right now, it's not doing too hot. We know it's a 5.3 on Rotten Tomatoes. On IMDb, and it's like 50-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not doing good. It's not doing good review wise. Yeah, some people are for it and love what they're doing. Actually, they got the 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oof.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah, it depending on that, it's what we'll do to see another movie. But they definitely intended to make another movie with this post-credit scene. And as we kind of alluded to, and even in before the post-credit scene, you know, I think Danica said it or someone else. It was just like, Stevie is still alive.
Yes.
Well, they said Stevie's alive, and then he was like, should we kill her? And then it was just like, yeah, absolutely. And then like they laugh, and then it's just like, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and the fades into the background, and then we get the post-credit scene. So now, if we do get a sequel, it's like, is it Stevie? And if it is Stevie, how does she know about Brandy? We can assume that Ray told her, and that was like the next master plan. That's why like Stevie survived, and she was starting to kill off all the other legacy characters. But ultimately, this post-credit scene was nothing but a cash grab.
Yes.
It's like, hey, guess what? We have another legacy character, and it's someone that hasn't done movies in a while either. It's Moesha.
It is indeed Moesha. And I know when they hit the after credit scene, and it's panning in, and I even sat there and I was like, is it Brandy? And then they show Brandy, and I go, it's fucking Brandy. And
who else would it be?
But I'm a little bit like, where's this gonna go? And then
me too. I'm intrigued.
Then it happens, and I go, oh my God, they're gonna do it. But her reaction too was like, yo, like when she reads it, she goes,
it's like, who we gonna fuck up?
Who we gonna fuck up now? And you're thinking like, I don't know if you have seen the second movie, ma'am, which you are in. You got fucked up in the second movie.
You
didn't fuck nobody up. You got fucked up, and so did your boyfriend.
Being gully. You were being gully.
Yes.
And like, but Mekhi Phifer got it.
Yeah, Mekhi Phifer did get it.
You know what I mean?
He did get it.
You tried to fight back.
I don't think we get a sequel.
Saved you.
I don't think we get a sequel in theater. I think if we're gonna get a sequel, it's gonna be Max now HBO Max. I feel that's the only way it's at. I don't see it going to theaters.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the same budget for a movie, they just make a show, and it's like
this would have been better this would have been better as a show.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
it would have been better as a show. Your budget would have
then they would have, right. They would have explored once the killer is revealed as Ray. They could have explored other episodes. Could have explored how he turned, and like all that shit. You could have spent 2 or 3 episodes with flashbacks on him, like fucking, being fed up and having glimpses of snapping and doesn't.
But I
You know
feel
what I
like,
mean?
Freddie Prinze Jr. was like, yo, I'm only giving you like a week and a half of my time. He was like, listen, I got to go home. You know, I got to cook dinner for Sarah. She's going to be doing Buffy soon. I got nothing better to do.
She's gonna be doing Buffy soon.
You know, I'm a little busy right now, so like I can only give you about a week. You know, maybe 8 days, but otherwise I'm done.
Tops.
So they were just like, fuck it. You know, this would have been a better television show. And you could have the same cast. You could have brought fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt back. You could have brought Freddie Prinze Jr. back. You could have still did the Sarah Michelle Gellar fucking cameo, and you could have, like you said, 6 episodes, 8 tops, and would have given a fucking story. And if it would have worked out, you could have made a season 2. You could have hinted still going to season 2 with fucking Brandy.
The same Brandy scene.
And then if it happens, it happens. If they cancel it, they cancel it. If not, well, we tried. All right, we got something. But nope, they did not do that. And unfortunately, I don't think this movie is that great. But
I also think it didn't need a post-credit scene.
yes, I agree too. It did not need a post-credit scene. I believe
Like,
both
all
legacy
these
characters
movies-
should have died.
Like, all these movies now are just trying to be like Marvel and all this other stuff and bring in all these little hints and like post-credit, like it's alluding to something, and it just never really works the same way. Why? Because it's not a continuing story.
Yes.
It's not.
I agree.
And then you know what? You trap yourself in a sequel that ultimately wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, what is the real reason why they're going after Brandy? Right.
Don't know.
The only other reason I could think of is because Ray wants his full revenge and kills off everyone.
But that doesn't make
if that was the
sense.
case, but if that was the case, then he would have went after Jennifer Love Hewitt afterwards too. But he just wanted the kid. He just helped Stevie.
Yep.
He literally just helped Stevie. He was gonna leave. He even said he was like, I was gonna leave you alone, but then you got tied up with these kids, right? So why is Brandy and like Jennifer Love Hewitt and now Steve? If it is Stevie, how does Stevie know? Whatever. If it's Ray, why is she doing it?
I think it's Mekhi Phifer.
No, I think it's Jack Black, even though he died.
He dies too. It's probably Mekhi Phifer.
It's probably Mekhi.
It's probably Mekhi Phifer. Maybe Busta Rhymes. It could be any fucking buddy's just gonna randomly.
I mean,
appear.
Mekhi Phifer hasn't really done much either.
Wow,
so
fuck
it
it,
could
bring him
be.
back. We'll bring him back
Bring
in
him
a
back.
fucking in a nightmare scene with Brandy.
Bring him back.
Jesus
Why
Christ,
not?
I hope they don't. All right, so before we wrap this up, let's find out, Mr. Malave, would you give this movie? I know what you did last summer, the 2025 version, a second round.
Oh, all right. So this is close. I've thought about it for a while,
Okay.
right? Because, like, you know, it's fresh in my mind. We exercised the demons, like I like to say.
You seen it
after
today.
These reviews. Yes.
You saw it
I have.
fresh.
So it's fresh. It's fresh in my head. A part of me is like, I want to, just because to see if I could pick up on things that I didn't before, to see if it makes a little bit more sense about the heel turn, as I'm calling it, the John Cena heel turn. But a big part of me is just like, what a waste. And I cannot give it a second round.
Not giving it a second round. I'm going to jump on board with you, Mr. Malave. I am not giving it a second round. One and done. Done. The only time I'd ever watch it again is because someone's like, I really want to watch it. And even then, I'd still sit there and be like, have fun.
Yeah.
Have
same.
fun. Have fun. I didn't think it was that good. And again,
same.
there was a lot of just mistakes. This movie had a lot of mistakes and a lot of stupid decisions. Just like horror movies. Stupid decisions.
Stupid decisions.
Stupid decisions.
And you die for your actions in
do.
a movie.
That's
So,
very true.
I think we just saw the death of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes, I think you might be correct.
Yeah. So they resurrected it for no reason.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Malave, I think our time is coming to the end. We both need to get back to camp.
We have to. We have to.
We got to go and hitch on the bus and get our asses back to camp. You got to get over to Camp Gore. I got to go back to Camp Creep. And, well, maybe we'll find out what we did last summer.
Well, you know what? I think it died with Freddie Prinze Jr.
I think it died with Freddie Prinze Jr. too.
Yeah.
So it's time to say our goodbyes as we head on out back to summer camp. We'll start with you, Mr. Malave.
Well, I'm Mr. Malave, aka Matthew Malave, aka the Music Man, baby. And the summer is rolling and is rocking. And even though we talked about what we did last summer, and I know what you did last summer, the new requel, we've exercised some demons, and I have a feeling it's not the last time we're going to exercise some demons before the summer is over. But till then, I will see you back at Camp Gore. Mr. Malave, out.
Thank you, Mr. Malave. My name is Tommy James, a.k.a. Mr. Oh So Smooth Effect himself, the movie guy, baby, your favorite movie therapist. And I am very interested in seeing what's coming after this, because going back to Camp Creep, I am. I will tell you this, though. They do make a really good fire over there.